Two vintage tube radio collectors. What I've got here on the bench is a flea market find. It's an Electrohome 721 AM tube clock radio. It's kind of the last of the radios that they made. They did make a few solid state models after this, but this is Electrohome, Kitchener, Canada. They made their own boards. They actually used different brands of tubes. This one is under the Viking name, so it's sold through Eaton's catalog stores. It has Viking labels on the tubes, which is kind of neat. And this one has a classic problem. I actually have owned several of these over the years, including one that I used when I was a kid. And they all had a similar problem. Now, you've heard of silver mica disease. There's all kinds of stuff. I've done a video on it. Most silver mica disease has to do with crackling, popping, sometimes a dead set. What happens with these, and this is the IF, first IF, I've unsoldered it, and you gotta be really careful. These circuit boards, too much heat, the land peels off like a banana skin. You gotta be very careful and patient. I desoldered all the lands, carefully rocked it out so it wouldn't crack. Did the first one here, sorry, the second IF was the first one I did. I took the can apart, clipped out the mica capacitor, and then put capacitors externally. These are always 100 picofarad. I've done dozens of these, but I'm going to show you how to work on one of these cans. Pretty simple, actually. There's some crimps. You got to kind of work them back. Make sure that you've got a label that aligns the can with one of the pins so that it goes back in correctly. Kind of basic stuff, you know, so you don't lose out. No, gotta carefully, there's little crimps here, gotta carefully push them back to get the cover off. Almost there. See if it'll come out now. No, this one is fighting me. That's because I'm doing a video. But you do have to be patient with these. Well, they're almost out. You don't want it to drag on the way out because there's very, very fine little wires. If one of them gets caught on the can, well, you're finished. Here we go, carefully rock it out. Off comes the lid. There's the two inductors, induction coils. And right here are the capacitors. What I do is I take a fine screwdriver and I lift one of those up like that on this side. Then you get under the mica and it's going to almost break right off like nothing. Just get enough of it lifted up so that you can pull it out. You gotta be really careful with these little guys. See right there? Just kind of break it off. Go back to this side. Lift it up. And it'll become apparent pretty quickly. You can actually see where it's been making and breaking contact underneath. And what happens with these is you don't get the crackling on these Electrohomes. You get the volume changing. So you'll be listening. I remember when I had one of these as a kid. You're listening, all of a sudden there's a dip in volume. You think, oh, something's happened to the station or the signal's not right. It was these. So see this little piece here where the two metal pieces held the wafer mica? Got to kind of take it and bend it up in a way so it doesn't touch. Like that. That's one side. And go to this side, lift it up. Like that. Try to get onto the piece of mica. That's what formed the capacitor. These were a bad idea, but they save space. Look at it, the condition of it. Look at the carbon on it. It has been arcing. I mean, there's about 108 volts DC on there. So This one has been like this for a while. So then what we do is we just bend that up. See, there's still a bit of mic in there. You want it all out. Whoops, went in the radio. What you notice there? That's curled up. That's curled up. Make sure the pins are still tight. Yep. And if you look, there's tiny bits of solder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in the can. Got a red marker there, red marker there. Slide it in, make sure you don't hit the sides. Like that. And then I'm just going to crimp that a bit, solder it back in. And then on each side of the transformer, 100 picofarad capacitor, 100 picofarad capacitor on the bottom of the board. And I'll do a test on this later and you can see how it works. Thanks for watching and listening.